When I made Have You Ever, I had these neighbors. And these neighbors who lived in this house with this room, similar, I guess, to mine, they rent in a house called Caroline W. Apartments. I started to notice every time I'd make a sound exceeding the volume of my classical stereo volume, I would hear the words, "You need to shut up," in a hallway outside of my apartment studio door. I thought, well, that's just a coincidence, and I waited quietly and calmly and let them do their observations. And I again noticed people were screaming at their cells outside of their rooms in the house where they rent to be alone in their home. And then, one day, late and close to dark, a dangerous time on Capitol Hill in Seattle, in Washington State, I opened my door and I said, "Excuse me." They looked and stared at me, watched what I was doing, listened to my feet make a sound. And I quickly said, "Are y'all talking about your ego out here?" They said, "Why do you talk like you do?" "They get it. I'm smart," they said. Them and they, a person in a hallway with their mind under control, they said, and all they were doing, they explained, was what I should be doing with the book they gave me to read about science fiction, gods, and feminism, hallucinations, and stimulation. Better, they said, them, a person and their self and ego, than some emotion and schizophrenic voice I'm hearing in my skull, in my head. I can't stop, they said. And all they said, them, they were trying to do was to tell myself and my ego out there to shut up. I came back home and shut my door, locked it, repeated my process. Made a video. Listened to a fan in my bathroom. And then I turned off a light. I turned off a stereo. And I had a meditation. And after my meditation, I turned back on my light, I hit the button on my stereo, and I saw consciousness again. I landed back on Earth from a UFO I got abducted from when I pleaded to some extraterrestrial. Please take me away from this place where all these people do all of these systems and all of these behavioral requirements I can't keep track of with a book about differential equations I'm reading. Thus, y squared divided by 2 times 1 minus x squared minus 1 half cosine squared x equals c1, or y squared 1 minus x squared minus cosine squared x equals c. And I'm supposed to keep track of these words and these languages and these letters and these sentences and these limits and these control practices for these rituals and these gods and these confusion, misdirection, and philosophies and theories. And then remember, mu, xy, capital M, xy, dx plus mu, xy, and capitalized xy, dy equals 0. The end.